Hello people, shift your mindset here. I have a special guest. I'm sitting here with our turtle, Raphael, wandering around in our garden, and also wanna listen to the message of today. The message of today is self-worth, self-value. Understand your own value. I had a lot of problems while I was growing up as a Jehovah's Witness to understand my value, because for understanding your value you first need self-acceptance. I wasn't embracing my worth as a human being, and I was seeking and leaning on other one's opinions. So if you want to understand your value while you left the organization, you have to understand your value. And that you can do by self-acceptance. Why is self-acceptance so important? Because if you accept yourself for who you are, then you can embrace your own worth. You can start with loving yourself. That's the most important thing I learned when I quit the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was seeking attention from other people. I was leaning on other one's opinions when I was a JW. And since I left, I had to rebuild my self-acceptance. I had to rebuild my own worth. I had to rebuild that other one's opinions are theirs. It not has to be your truth. Validation comes from within me, not from other people. What are the people saying to me now? I don't care. I listen to it, but I don't give that thought value, because it isn't my reality. I know my self-worth. And with understanding your own value comes also inner fulfillment. Oh, he's still doing good. Okay. Because we have to prioritize our own needs and desires. We have to be happy with our own achievements. And if you want inner fulfillment, you're not relying on other one's approval. If you want to understand your value as a human being, it's also important to set boundaries. Because we are conditioned and grew up as people pleasers, and maybe if you're watching, you are still pleasing others too much. So one big point for you guys, I also had to learn it, is to know and define your own limits. That's a very important one. Because we all have limits, but we're so used to pleasing other ones and ignoring our own limits. So you have to ask yourself, where am I comfortable with? Where do I draw the line? That's a good question. Because boundaries are not self-hate, like we think maybe, but it's self-love. Why? Because a boundary protects your time and the energy within you. If you are pleasing other people, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your own energy, because you're too much involved with their energy and what they think you think they need. But you have to set your own boundary. And maybe we have to be a little bit more assertive to ourselves. When I was pleasing people back in the days, I was over explaining to justify why I'm doing that. Stop over explaining people, because it's not necessary. You have to be clear and you have to be direct to others. And other people have to be clear that you have boundaries. The very next thing, if you know your own value, if you understand your own value, is to be true to yourself. You can be true to yourself when you focus on authenticity. We all are unique human beings. You and me, we're all different. If I'm doing the same job as you are doing, I still do it otherwise. Why? We can't copy another person's work or passion because we have all the unique skills in us. My story about leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses is different than another one's story because I lived it on a unique way. So be true to yourself. And another thing, when you focus on your authenticity, is trust your intuition. That was a difficult one for me, to trust my intuition. Why? I was always thinking. And intuition is not thinking. Intuition is feeling. So you have to trust your intuition. That's a big one. We all have inner guidance in us. We all have gut feelings sometimes in certain moments of life. Trust that gut feeling. Trust your inner process. You know what feels right for you. You know what feels wrong. If you know you are pleasing people, you know that something is wrong within you. Deep down you know it, but we're always on the automatic pilot and we do it anyway. But deep inside you feel bad about it. You want to change it. So this is your chance to change. Why? If you know your inner feeling, the next thing is you let go of approval. Not only approval, but also the need for approval. Because if we're seeking approval by other people, it's mostly from fear or some insecurities we still have. And that's not bad. We all are insecure at some points of our life. That's not a problem. But the best thing you can do is recognize it. Recognize your insecurities and put your foot down on those insecurities. And you say to yourself, no more. Next time, I'm gonna do it the other way. I'm not do it without fear, but if I'm helping someone now, I do it from love. I'm not doing it from insecurity or fear and setting your boundaries, shifting your perspective of the whole situation. Where I come from the religion, in the beginning I thought I was arrogant. Why? Because I was setting boundaries, I was working on myself, not on other people. I stopped pleasing other people. It felt selfish, it felt arrogant. But that's the mind is fucking with us, sorry to say, but that's all an illusion. Because the only thing I can do and genuinely help someone else is when I've accepted myself, if I have my boundaries, if I have a good feeling about myself, if I have enough self-love, if I have everything I need in life to become a good person. If my cup of self-love is full and is overflowing, that's the moment I can help other people. Because otherwise I'm helping other people because of my insecurities, because the need for approval, because etc, etc, etc. That's wrong. Because in the end you're not helping anyone, and especially you're not helping yourself. Because the other person sucks all the energy out of you. You thought you were helping, but at the end of the day you feel miserable for it. So we have to start practicing self-compassion, and we have to shift our perspective of a situation. We have to be kind to ourselves, not punish ourselves for being a people pleaser or do something about helping someone out of insecurities or fear or whatever. We have to be kind to ourselves, and we have to prioritize our own desires and needs. We can do that if we embrace self-reliance. We have to rely on ourselves first. And that's a big step, also a scary step. It was for me a very scary step to rely on myself, because I thought, oh, can I do it? How am I gonna do it? And I was so focused always on other people. That's because the conditioning of our religion. But we have to be self-reliant. We have to develop skills, or we have to exercise some practices that enhance our abilities to meet our own needs and also our own goals in life. We all walking on a path, on a journey to somewhere, and you have to practice your skills to go there and finish it and walk to the mountaintop. And we can't do it if we're not skilled, if we're not prepared. We can't help other people if we don't know what we're talking about. So we have to empower ourselves and focus on ourselves, but also take actions that contribute to your own growth and happiness. If you are growing, if you are happy, you're an inspiration for other people who see you, who see that you love yourself, that you have boundaries, that people know you, what boundaries you have. Then they can know the real you. So if you're being authentic with boundaries, people know when they cross your boundaries or don't want to cross your boundaries, and you let them know from the heart that they are stepping over your boundaries. That's love. That's self-love, but also loving the other person, because sometimes they don't know they're stepping over boundaries. And if you tell them that generally from the heart, they will accept that for who you are, and they will have respect for you, because they know what kind of person you are. They know your honesty. They know you want to grow, and they also grow from that moment. And so, message for today is reflect on why you feel compelled to please other people. Please others, other people. Why are you doing that? Sit down, like me, in nature for a moment today, and just find out why you feel compelled to please other people. Because then you can understand your value. Then you get that feeling. If you be quiet for some time, just ask those questions and the answer will pop up eventually. Why are you compelled to do that? Because when you understand your motivations, why you're doing something like that, you can address the underlying issues and you can change. And change can be in seconds, can be in minutes, whatever, but you can change very, very quick. And the last thing for understanding your value, and I talked about it, I thought yesterday about it, is reevaluate your relationships. Yesterday I said the 5 people around you. Search 5 quality people around you, people. 5, only 5. Who bring you further, who embrace your authenticity, who know your boundaries, who love you for who you are. Just for who you are. Not the person you are expressing at this moment, but the person deep down in us. That's unconditional love. Something we didn't know when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, because that was conditioned. That was conditional love. You have to do this and then I love you. If you do that, you're gone. So we're used to change our behavior to please other people so they like us, so that then we're also good people. So think about what I said earlier, your boundaries, reevaluate your relationships. To this conclusion, evaluate all the relationships you have close by and reevaluate it. Because it's important to know, or they're contributing to your well-being, or are those relationships about pleasing others? Consider your relationship if they are aligning with your well-being and the values you want in life, the values who are important for you, or are they bad relationships who keep you stuck in the same old thing every day, every month, the whole year. So thank you, people, for today, for understanding your values. I hope I inspired someone to reevaluate something today. Which type of person am I? Am I pleasing people? Why am I pleasing people? Is there a fear in me that people don't like me? And so what? What if somebody doesn't like you? In the end of the day, you're only with yourself. You have to like you. And that's the most important message of today. If I like myself, everything around me can say everything they want, but I don't care, because I like what I am. I know my self-worth. I know what I'm capable of, what I be. If I know I'm a good person and you grow, you can help other people still, because if you're working on your self-love, on your boundaries, everything, it's not that you're not caring about other people anymore. That was my previous thinking also, that I'm being arrogant or selfish, that the whole world is around me. It's only me. No, that's not understanding your value. Understanding your value is you know what you're worth, and you're going to help people from a different perspective. Thank you for today. See you next time, guys.